Hi, and welcome to Preston's College. I'm Rory Parkinson. I'm the curriculum leader in health and social care, predominantly for the access to HE provision and the level 1 adult provision as well. And I've been asked to speak to you today about how we embed maths and English and why it's so important within the sector of health and social care, but also as a professional as well. And first of all, really what we need to consider when we're thinking about maths and English is that although from the start it might not seem as if it is important, actually within the sector it's highly important. Myself, I've been a support worker for adults and children with learning disabilities for 5 years before I came into teaching, so I really do know the ins and outs of the sector itself. And when we really think about support work and care work, we have to really consider what math skills are needed, and really not just looking after people with significant issues and giving them personal care, which is still highly important, but you are looking after things like their money and you're accountable for that. So if you need to go out and spend money with your service user, you need to come back and be able to audit that, and therefore math skills are really important within that area. Also though as well, you're going to have to organise with your service user, whether that be with time, whether it be travel, whether it be distance, and you have to make calculations, especially if you're using your own car, because you'll need to claim that back. Also things to think about is health and safety measures. You might have to cook for your service users or have dealings with feeding, or at least maybe helping them to eat. You need to understand temperatures, cooking times. You need to be able to use a thermometer. All of these require maths. But probably one of the most important things that require maths is the use of medication. Within the work setting, you may have to give medication, and understanding the difference between a microgram and a milligram is extremely important because it could have severe consequences. And therefore, we need to make sure that we have this underpinning understanding of maths. And this also goes for English, just general reading and writing, but also verbal communication. They're all essential. Think about it this way: you come onto a shift, you need to know what's happened that day before. Has the medication changed? Has someone had a crisis and needs support within a certain area? You have to go and do a handover, and part of that handover could be daily log sheets and diaries, passing that information clearly and concisely to other service users, but also as well to other staff members. So having them handovers is really, really important. Also, when you're working in a care setting, you're not just working with other staffs and service users, but you're working with managers, but also other professionals. And being able to understand the difference between formal and informal communication is extremely important. With the informal communication, you need to build relationships up with staff, with the service users, with the service users' families. With the formal communication, you may have to divulge information to social workers, to doctors, to other medical professionals, and you have to be able to do that in a formal manner, whether that be written in an email or whether that be verbally through a phone, Zoom, Teams as we're using now, but also in face-to-face. And again, bringing it back to that idea around medication. When you get some new medication for a service user, one of the first things that you have to do is be able to read and understand what that medication is, what the side effects are, and how that might have any altercations with them. And being able to read and see how much of that dosage is needed is extremely important. Also, unfortunately, we sometimes have to work with people who show challenging behaviour and aggressive behaviour, who need additional support. And part of your process is to write an incident form, which has to be accurate, clear, concise. It has to make sense, and it has to be understandable for all to see, to understand what happened. Because ultimately you will be accountable and responsible. So this just shows how important maths and English is within the health and social care sector. Now, if you're coming to Preston College, and I hope you all are, you're looking then to progress further. And yes, working within a care sector, wonderful experience, and it's a wonderful job to do, but you may want to take it one step further, and that step further might be then becoming a professional yourself, working from level 1 right up to level 3, and even then moving on to HE provisions. Now, for professionals, and I hope you can understand, it is extremely important to have English and maths skills. For example, taking vital signs of a patient, such as body temperature, pulse rate, respiratory rate, and even blood pressure. These vital signs are deadly important to understand if someone is living or dying, if they need care or not. And therefore having maths underpinning that understanding and knowledge is extremely important. If you're going into maybe paramedics, reading such as ECGs, they don't just verbally tell you what that is. It comes out as a sheet and you have to understand the graph. And maths is extremely important within that practice also. Some of you may be coming to do pharmaceutical practice. Weights and measures, looking at how much medication needs to be given, how many tablets need to be put in a certain place. They're all extremely important. And within English, you need to write reports. And like I said, around working in the healthcare sector, maybe as a support worker, it becomes tenfold more important when you become a professional, whether that be nurse, midwife, paediatric nurse, whether it be a pharmacy technician. Writing clear reports, writing up patient care, writing up important information is crucial. One letter wrong can just make a difference in how someone is cared for, and that's really important. And if you do become a nurse or you become a professional, there's a high probability that you will have to lead a team of HCAs or a team of other people, and having clear communication, having clear written communication to those individuals to lead that team for successful care for others is imperative. Having that clear verbal communication and being able to write formal emails, whether that be to management, whether that be to service users' families, keeping professional is important, and English will teach you that. It has to. So now we have to think about them. Well, we want to get there. I want to be a professional. You're watching this and you're saying to me, no, I really want to do that. What do I need to do? Well, the first part is you need to do maths and English. If you look at the job market now and you look at any professional, they require a level 2 in maths and English regardless. To get to universities, they require maths and English at level 2 regardless. To come onto a level 3 course, I require you to have a maths and English at level 2. Why is that? Well, not just apart from the points that I've just raised previously, but when you're on course here, you'll be asked to do a range of different assessments, from essays, presentations, you might have to do an academic poster. All of it needs to have clear English skill, because you might have the knowledge up here, but unless you can actually write it down and show someone this and spread that information, it's worthless. And then with maths, you'll need to interpret statistics in research. You'll have projects, you'll have assignments, science as part of health and social care. Look at body measurements. It looks at projects, it looks at experiments, and all these things need to have data analysis. And therefore maths is extremely important. And if you bring the two together, you'll be highly, highly successful. So really, this brings down to kind of, well, what am I trying to say? And what it is maths and English are a foundation of any good qualification, and they are inherently needed to succeed in health and social care. So I hope that I can welcome you to Preston's College, to a health and social care course with doing maths and English alongside. Thank you very much.